Hey, it's David, and welcome back to another episode of the Reddit Story podcast.
When Amanda and I were halfway through our wedding, I was overwhelmed with genuine joy. I felt like I had wings and could fly. She was every man's dream come true. She was not only stunningly beautiful, but also incredibly intelligent, responsive, kind-hearted, and financially successful. There was not the slightest hint of trouble in our relationship. I had no idea what my sweet and affectionate bride really turned out to be. Amanda works as a VIP manager, dealing with clients from all over the world. She only goes to work when she gets a call, explaining that she is only called when a very important client arrives. At first, I fought bouts of jealousy, imagining these rich men casting admiring glances at my gorgeous bride. What if they crossed the line? However, Amanda always reassured me, explaining that her clients were serious people who were only interested in business matters. For example, she would sometimes accompany them to a restaurant to help check their documents. And to keep the potential investor from getting bored, I would take them somewhere and we would have lunch together, Amanda says. I was very impressed by the fact that she doesn't hide anything. I was waiting at a stoplight in my car, not paying much attention to my surroundings. However, something made me cast a glance at the car to my left. To my surprise, my fiancée was sitting in the driver's seat, accompanied by a well-dressed man of Arab descent. They did not notice my presence as my car was not too conspicuous and had tinted windows. As the traffic lights started counting down, I looked back at my car and was shocked by what I saw. The Arab man, or whatever he was, and my fiancée were kissing passionately. Amanda seemed to be enjoying it, letting his hands roam freely. I don't remember how I managed to make it home, but I do remember that when the light turned green, the car to my left sped off. Meanwhile, the other drivers behind me honked impatiently, and I tried to comprehend the shock I had experienced. It was a miracle I hadn't been in an accident, because my hands were still shaking when I reached my apartment. You're wrong. It wasn't me. Amanda tried to smooth things over that night, but I could see the fear and panic in her eyes. I couldn't have been wrong, especially since you were wearing the same dress as you are now. My nerves were on edge. I wanted to lash out at her and teach her a lesson for trying to make a fool of me, but I managed to pull myself together. The thing was, the company had convinced me to provide special favors to rich clients after contracts were signed. They promised that it would benefit the company and I would be well remunerated. However, deep down, I wanted to quit this job as soon as we got married. Amanda looked at me with tearful eyes, trying to hug and kiss me. The mere thought of her touching me, let alone more, made me cringe. I couldn't understand her act. The word cheating seemed too mild to describe what she was doing. You said you wanted to quit your job after the wedding. What about before the wedding? Do you think it's acceptable to get involved with other men and then act like nothing happened when you come to my house? I said, strutting around the room and throwing Amanda's things out of the closets. I finally decided it was best to leave to my parents' house for a few hours to give her time to pack her things and leave my apartment and my life for good. We never crossed paths again. Later, mutual acquaintances told me that Amanda continued to work at the firm and was often seen with various wealthy men, obviously not in an official capacity. I was devastated, canceling my wedding to Amanda as soon as her deception was exposed. I hung around my apartment depressed and bitter, wondering how I could have been so blind. My family and friends tried to comfort me, but it was all for naught. One day, I received an anonymous letter. The person claimed to have worked with Amanda and urged me to dig deeper into the disturbing rumors about her past. I almost dismissed the letter. I wanted to move on with my life, but curiosity took over. What I discovered stunned me. Before moving here, Amanda had left a trail of broken engagements in her homeland after men discovered her escort services. She had also accumulated large gambling debts. I realized with horror that Amanda had been setting me up as a lucrative prey all along. She just wanted to take my apartment. When I was confronted with the evidence, the smug Amanda confessed everything. She planned to milk all the blood out of me before she went back to deceiving me. "You were just another pawn," she shrugged, and smiled. Her cold words cut what little was left of my Na'vi heart. This time, the tears were mine. I felt like a fool. In time, the new relationship restored my lost ability to trust. But I remembered the lesson: beautiful illusions can hide an ugly truth. And instead of harshly judging the choices of others, I'm learning to simply walk away when I feel honesty is lacking. Living well, with compassion and wisdom, is the best long-term revenge on those who deceive.